time out real quickly. He's a Colleyville detective. He can investigate crime in Colleyville, but he's heard all this story.
I do like perspective, though.
He probably hasn't heard your version, so, unpack
this,
for him,
this lawyer, I like
step by step, what happened in Florida.
On this day?
Yes.
Let's go step by step.
Slow.
Let's start from the beginning.
Let's do that.
So,
Start from the beginning.
my son was around 1 at the time. He was teething. He said, "Hey, baby, do you want to show me your city view?" "Oh, yeah, that'd be great, that'd be great, that'd be great." You know, so we walk upstairs. Also comes upstairs.
Did you see how he did that? Listen, this is so important.
He said, "Hey, baby, do you want to show me your city view?" "Oh, yeah, that'd be great, that'd be great, that'd be great." You know, so we walk upstairs. Also comes upstairs.
He's giving the order of how people ended up going upstairs. This is a blazing lie. Israel was already upstairs. He was already there. This conversation about the city view and the view, it maybe happened at breakfast a few minutes earlier. This is his lie. This is told right here. And he's gonna slip up later in this interview. On this point, he's going to slip up, and I will show it to you.
"Do you want to show me your city view?" "Oh, yeah, that'd be great, that'd be great, that'd be great." You know, so we walk upstairs. Also comes upstairs.
Okay, right there. You see, when they had to cover his mouth, it's because he's saying the little girl's name.
So we walk upstairs. Also comes upstairs.
Okay, so he's saying little girl name also comes upstairs. Completely false narrative. Because what Joshua Brown has just done here is the rendition that Mother in Love has continued to tell. Mother in Love loves Son in Love's agenda and version of this. It's beautiful the way they stand together.
We had our family retreat. There was nothing else said about that event happening. There was nothing said to my husband or myself, my late husband. And so we're at the beach, and on this particular day, my grandson was talking about his city view because they're the two older grandchildren. They were up in a room. It was a long bunk room, and there was a bunk bed on one side. His sister had the beach view, who they're calling Pete, heard
Joshua Brown,
my grandson, talking and said, "Oh, I like the city view."
Because she was
everybody
there.
else
Stop.
was saying they like the beach view. Personally, I like the beach view. And
I'm going to assume that Joni Lamb is not a stupid woman who doesn't have false memories. But what clearly happened, and you will see that today, as the maid describes exactly how this day went down. And now we have two witnesses that can corroborate the same story, Susie Lamb and Sylvia. When they talked about the city view and all of that, that was a discussion basically over breakfast in the kitchen area. Why is she defending Joshua Brown? Why is she taking the side and the perspective of Joshua Brown rather than Jonathan and Susie and now Sylvia? A repeated thing that people keep saying to me is, Joshua Brown must have something on Joni Lamb for Joni to keep protecting him in this way. I know that Joshua Brown repeated to Miss Denise Boggs over and over, "I have the biggest secret on Joni Lamb." He did.
so he said Pete was holding his 1-year-old child. And he said to my grandson, "Well, show me your city view." So they went up the steps.
No. Joshua Brown did not go up the stairs until Susie told her little daughter to go and get changed. And that's when Joshua Brown followed a little girl up the stairs to where she's told to go get changed. This is now according to two witnesses, Susie Lamb and the beautiful, wonderful housekeeper.
So they went up the steps. I was in the room, heard this, and went
Okay,
up the
stop.
step.
So she's in the room and heard this. they've already been talking about the city view and all of that because that's the breakfast place. So if she was in the room, it was not the upstairs bedroom where the infraction occurred. So she was in the room, although nobody remembers her being there. Sylvia does not remember her. It doesn't mean she wasn't there, but the room she's talking about is the kitchen. And now she just goes into what I would call Joshua Brown's rendition rather than believing her kids. Okay, keep going.
And proceeded to look out the window to see the beach view and then to see the city view. And at some point, my granddaughter was up there on her side of the room and put her bathing suit on. Mm-hmm. Well,
bear in mind that Joni is not there now for any of this. She is somehow now in the basement. None of that is debated because she hears Susie very vehemently calling Jonathan and saying, you know, you have to come. She's somewhere completely different, not in that room. The city view, beach view, which there's no city view, it doesn't really matter. It could have happened 15 minutes earlier. But now it's all being combined. When Joshua Brown goes up is only after the little girl is told to get her bathing suit on, and Joni is not there. So this whole thing now that she's about to state is not true because she wasn't there. Keep going.
Downstairs, Susie said to my son, go check on. I remember thinking that's kind of weird, like, and the way she said it. And so my son went.
So she heard that. Oh, I thought it was weird. I thought it was weird the way Susie was concerned as a mother about, Jonathan, you need to come up here. Now, of course, at this time, Joni knows nothing. But Joni now should know a whole lot more. After all that has come out, and instead of standing with her son and daughter-in-law and looking at the facts and understanding that Rebecca and JW call Joshua Brown a narcissist, they say he's mean, they say he's a liar. That's her other daughter, Rebecca, and her son-in-law, JW. I'm sure she calls him son-in-love once in a while. I don't know. She sure calls Joshua Brown her son-in-love. What does he have on her? Let's continue.
Running up the stairs, and when he did, he saw that his daughter was putting on the bathing suit, and Pete was standing there holding a 1-year-old baby, and my 8-year-old grandson was there, and they were looking out the window at the city view.
Stop. How does she know what window they're looking out? Because Joshua Brown told her, and she's taken his perspective on every side. She wasn't there. Remember, she was downstairs hearing Susie speak rather, in a stressed manner. That was weird to Joni. The only thing weird is her allegiance to someone who the evidence is continually showing is problematic, including the letter that was written about Joshua Brown sent to a pastor at Planet Shakers, Pastor Russ. All of it smells. Listen carefully.
Well, Jonathan says, what are you doing up here? She's putting her bathing suit on. Well, Pete turns around and said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry,
stop.
I'm so sorry. And
so Pete
comes downstairs.
So Pete, who is Joshua Brown, turns around. She's not there. Whose story is she telling? She's telling Joshua Brown's rendition. And she's against her firstborn, Jonathan, and his beloved wife, Susie, who have a very big problem because Joshua Brown is now in the room Having followed the little girl up, according to two witnesses, Susie and Sylvia, he's followed the little girl up, and he's in the room with a naked girl. And she wants to talk about that they're looking out the window, talking about the city view and the beach view. And she's not there. She's telling Josh Brown's story, someone who she's taken his side the whole way.
I have no words. I have no words. Where do you begin? Everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. So I was in the main area because Jonathan and our room was over there on that first floor. There's a basement below where Marcus and Joni were. There's a game room area down there, and that's where they were. So we finished breakfast, and Pete had the baby, and he was doing something in the kitchen, and I was talking to my daughter, and she said, "Mommy, I want to go swim." And I said, "Okay, go upstairs, put on your swimsuit, come back to Mommy." And the second I said that, I mean, his eyes just kind of got big, and he goes, "Ah," and he started to follow her. Yes, that baby was right there, and he just started to follow. The baby was a non-factor. The baby was not fussy.
And let me pause right there. Where is your son?
Third floor, in his bunk, minding his own business. The truth is so simple. He saw her, he goes, "Ah," and he started to follow her up. And I felt such panic in her eyes. All I can do is tell the truth before God. He followed her up there. Panic set in my heart.
So you can see the renditions are very different.
But there was only one person that was not having breakfast yet.
Era Josh Brown.
And it was Josh Brown. So he came downstairs. I don't remember the timelines, but I do remember that they started talking about the city view. They were all there together talking. I was a little bit upset because I wanted them to get done and finish so I could start cleaning. That's why I remember well. The part that I do not remember quite 100% is that my employer was still there, or she had already gone down.
Miss Joni y su esposo.
Miss Joni and her husband, Marcus. Israel went upstairs first.
Israel goes up first. This is the important part.
And I remember that the little girl wanted to go swimming.
There's a conversation to get ready, and change for the beach.
But that's why I cannot really tell you if my employer was there or not. And because I remember me saying, I want him to finish, and he already left again. But he had the baby in his arms.
At this point, we have gotten to where she is saying that Joshua Brown had the baby in his arms, and Joshua Brown heads up there. Joshua Brown followed up after the little girl went upstairs. That was the truth. It's coming.
I don't believe what somebody else says, right? Because it can be changes. But when I hear her, and I was there, I see, I never have like a relationship with Susie because I never worked with her. I never saw her. So, but when she was said that, and I see and I hear, I said, wow. You can see what I'm saying. A lot of things that she said, it was true.
He saw her, he goes, "Ah," and he started to follow her up. And I felt such panic in her eyes. All I can do is tell the truth before God. He followed her up there.
She just watched the guy walk up the stairs after her daughter, that they had had prayer before they came to the beach house. Prayer with Miss Denise Boggs, prayer with Rebecca.
He's saying, "Jonathan." Susie's room was close to the kitchen. And I was asking myself, why is she screaming like that at him? But she started running and went into the room and started running upstairs. And when he went upstairs, I was still in the kitchen.
No sabía yo qué pasaba.
I didn't know what was going on.
A lo mejor pensé que iba a agarrar algo, ¿no?
I thought maybe he was grabbing something.
Después él bajó.
Later he came down.
I'm sorry.
And Josh came down to saying, I'm sorry.
It is going to come down to who are you going to believe? And Joshua would not want to be one of those crazy kind of dudes who just follows up little girls. Even though that's exactly what happened. Susie Lamb was so emotionally undone by it in front of her that she had to go and get her husband. Completely different story than is being told by Joshua Brown. 100%. Let's continue.
His recollection as he looked around when he said, I still don't remember the child unclothed, is all the way over in this area with a dresser blocking from where she was, correct? Her dresser?
Where her suitcase is. I don't know where she was because I never saw her.
Okay.
Well, I saw her. I knew she was going up there.
Okay, so pay very important attention to what he just said. He said, I knew she was going up there. Does that sound like she followed me up there, or I knew she was going up there? I actually had our editor isolate this moment. So let's just play clip 11, which is a repeat of what you just saw. The reason is, listen very careful to Joshua's words. He's not saying she went up ahead. Listen.
With a dresser blocking from where she was, correct? Her dresser?
Where her suitcase is. I don't know where she was because I never saw her.
Okay.
Well, I saw her. I knew she was going up there. But when we're looking out the window, I have no idea where she is.
What's behind?
Did you catch it, everyone? I knew she was going up there. Did you hear it? Let's play it again.
With a dresser blocking from where she was, correct? Her dresser?
Where her suitcase is. I don't know where she was because I never saw her.
Okay.
Well, I saw her. I knew she was going up there. But when we're looking out the window, I have no idea where she is.
What's behind?
I knew she was going up there.
I knew she was going up there. And I followed her. He doesn't say those words, but he didn't say, I knew she was up there because she came behind me. From behind. I knew she was going up there. And what did he do? He did what Sylvia and Susie said. He followed her. This is a catch. It's a small and tiny catch, and there should be way more interviews to get the more catches. But he says, I knew she was going up there. I'm telling you, this is a moment that betrays what the truth is.
I knew she was going up there.